Okay, well, hey, welcome back. We're super excited to be joined by Francis again. We're going to kick some questions to him. We really, when we originally came to Francis about this time, we really wanted to create a context to ask questions that we feel like are going to be really helpful for specifically leaders in the church to speak in on some of these things. And so let's just jump in. Coming out of just seeing that, it seems like many Christians are really confused on how to live out being bold and courageous in the middle of a pandemic. And it seems like one thing I think Rob and I have noticed is a lot of the conversation tends to center around gatherings. Like, how do we gather? Should we gather? But I remember early on when we, our church, before it was even started, you talking about being committed to like two things: loving one another and the mission. And oftentimes those aren't enough of the conversation. So I want to kick it to you with, what does it look like for us to live out deep love for one another and the mission of God in the middle of stay-at-home orders and a pandemic?
Wow. Gosh, that's kind of a tough one. You know why it's tough? I'm just be honest. I feel like I haven't been aggressive in pursuing that. If I'm honest, so maybe I'm not the best one to answer that. Because even as you say that, I go, can I honestly say that I've been aggressively pursuing people? I don't know. There's something about this, like, on the one hand, like things have changed, and so it's like shocking to our system. But it's crazy how quickly we recover and adapt, and it's almost like, I don't know, like some of us are getting used to this stay at home, and some parts of it are more comfortable. And so then it just makes us kind of, I don't know, ease up and almost feel like we're doing something just by surviving the pandemic. And I don't know. I don't know. Let's go to the next question, because I feel like I'm not here is what's going on though. And I was convicted about this morning, and I'm praying about it, because I noticed the change in my heart. I noticed this getting comfortable and even more comfortable. I mean, even in the last few days. And it's crazy how quickly our hearts can change, like, I don't know what it is, but I can get spurred on real quick, but then I can lose that passion real quick. But I'm thinking about maybe not so much to love one another in the church, if I'm honest, but how I'm losing the reality of what's happening, with so many thousands of people dying and people terrified. Because I have peace, I can kind of just like not fear death, but the reality of people who do fear it and are terrified, and they should be even more terrified than they realize. So it's like it's like they don't understand who they're about to face. And I'm just kind of sitting here, even us, we can be on this Skype session and try to talk about something to talk about regarding the churches and intensive and everything else. But the weight of a human soul right now, terrified of death, because that's the end of everything. And then the reality that it's worse than that. It's way worse than that. Your death and the end of your existence is not all you have to worry about. That's your greatest hope. Gosh, why is that not just like destroying me? And so I'm just in this time of prayer this morning going, God, this isn't right. This is not the way I used to feel in high school. And now that it's possibly heading towards the end, like 1 Peter 4 says, the end of all things is at hand. So therefore we've got to be like self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of our prayers. Like I feel like my mind isn't sober. My mind has been like in this fog, and I don't know if it's just information overload. I don't know if it's just constantly stimulated to where like the main things aren't there. And so it's always hard for me to speak to something that I'm not living out. But I feel like I kind of have to, that right now I notice my heart for people that are lost and destined for eternity apart from God. It's not there, and it's really bothering me. But that doesn't mean yours can't be. I think I just want to raise an awareness. I hesitate in saying some of these things. I don't want people to go, oh, okay, Francis is that way, so it's okay that I'm that way. You know what I mean? As pastors, we have that wrestle, but we can't lie and pretend we're fired up if we're not. So that's my bigger concern right now is for those of you that are watching, like, have you lost some of that? Because we don't want it to be like the days of Noah, where we're just eating and drinking and just carrying on with life when there's a true judgment that's coming.
That's one of the things I love about you, Francis, is like, be real, be honest. Like, if it's not there, then we need to pray that it would be there and ask God, like, something's off. Man, I love that.